everybody. Good evening. I hope you're all good. This was a fantastic award so far. I have a question. How many people here have achieved something, seriously achieved something, and not been recognised? Quite a few of us. Quite a few of us. I've had quite a lot of conversations the last couple of days, and this whole thing about recognition has been talked about. But hang on a sec. Before I get into some ideas about what this actually means, do we even have a problem? You see, everybody here understands customer experience. We know what it is, we know what it means, we know the impact it can achieve for our organizations. Recognition is not a problem. It's the people who are not here. We're going to go back to our offices, our companies on Sunday. And if this thing called customer experience works, then theoretically we should have absolutely no problem. You see, everybody says customer experience is important, don't they? And if that's the case, we should have no problem with our budgets. We should have no problem getting resources. We should have no problem getting priority. Is that the case? No. I've talked to a lot of people here today, last couple of days, and they've said many of the same things. They said, we can't get budgets. We don't get enough of them. I can't get the priority. Other people are putting their projects and programs ahead of ours. But hang on a sec, the customer is important. So recognition is really important. And I just want to come up with three very quick ideas. First of which, I want to turbocharge the word recognition with a single word. Single word. I'd like a little help from the stage, please. I'm having this isn't working. It's called appreciation. It's called appreciation. Now, the whole difference is when you talk recognition, you've achieved something, and because you've achieved something, you get recognized for it. Appreciation is something very different. Appreciation is about understanding the values we bring. Let me give you an example. I'm going to go back a number of years to when I was 23 years old. I say a few years. I mean, who am I kidding? These aren't laughter lines. Nothing could be that funny. But so I'm going to go back a few years. And I was a change manager. I was working in London, and I was working for a department. It involved customer, although not customer experience as we know it today. I had to go and give a presentation to the SVP who was based in New York. I was prepared. Before I left, I had a senior account manager who came up and said, Charles, if you're going to close this change program, you need to think about how you're going to close it out. I have a technique. It's called the silent close. I was 23. I didn't have a clue. I found out later it was the most dreadful technique in the history of dread techniques. And it works a little bit like this. You give your pitch. You go through the value. You deliver your content. And then you finish. And then you say nothing. You hold the silence. And he said, do not break it. They will always end up breaking the silence, and it will be in your favor. I was 23, I knew nothing. So I did it. I did my homework. I went and did the presentation. It went very well. I came to the end, and as I said, I just came to the final part, and I looked. And he looked at me back. And I looked back at him again. And after about 1 minute, he put his finger up. Didn't say anything, just said, what? And he walked out. And I sat, I waited. I sat, and I sat, and I sat. About 40 minutes later, I thought, maybe I've got to do something about this. I went outside, the secretary looked at me and said, hello, sir, can I help you? And I said, where's Bill? I said, he left. I said, what do you mean? It's the 22nd of December. He's gone home for the festive break. When's he back? 8th of January. I'm over here in the United States, he can't go. I'm terribly sorry, you're going to have to come back when he's back. How do you think I felt? I felt this high. I had to go back and tell my boss I had failed. I had failed appallingly. My boss didn't say very much. He just said, we'll speak later, Charles. We've got a company meeting. I went to the company meeting, and halfway through, he had to do a presentation. And halfway through that presentation, he just wanted to say, I want to give a word of appreciation for a number of people in a department. And I mentioned my project, mentioned our work, and said, Charles, the effort you put in is appreciated. I know we didn't get over the final hurdle, but I value you. How did you think I felt? A1. I ended up staying in this company 4 or 5 years, and they were one of the best 4 or 5 years I have had in my life. You see, the thing is about appreciation, it's cheap, it's easy, and it has real impact. First idea. Second idea, how can we build our library of tools and techniques? You see, the thing is in customer experience, although the concept's very easy, we find it very difficult with stakeholders who would not necessarily appreciate what this customer experience agenda is about. And in the main, we go in, we might have a presentation, we might have our tools and techniques, we might have a paper, whatever it happens to be. And that's pretty well what we go as our evidence. Now, we've got a number of different types of stakeholder. The stakeholder, first one, is what I call the believer. The believer is probably the same as every person in this room. I know customer experience could achieve the outcomes that we desire, and I know you can do it. The believer. The other two types, not so much. We have this disbeliever. Can't be done. Don't believe it. No way. I've been here a long time. I've got the experience. It cannot be done. And we've got the third. The third is even more difficult. It can be done. Absolutely can be done, but I don't believe you can do it. So what I want to show here, something that took me a while to learn. In my customer experience career, I built up my library. Social proof cases, ROIs, outcome frameworks, doing nothing implications. If we do nothing, we wait. Guess what happens? There are implications. Doesn't mean we don't make progress. It actually means we can take a step back. It can make our competition take a step ahead. It can mean our citizens actually have a lower impression of us. Some really useful things within here. You build this up and guess what it gives you? It gives you your toolbox for recognition. And that toolbox might just be the toolbox that will get people who did not get the gold this year, but actually will mean you're right up there to be in the group of people who are going to be winning next. It can be that valuable. And I want to talk, a third one, very, very quickly, is say you've done that. You've gone out and you've actually built a team around you. You're appreciating the work that they're doing. You've built up these tools and techniques. You've built up this library. How are you going to make it come alive? Now, traditionally, we build our PowerPoint presentation slides. We write emails. We may even do a paper. And we get them sent out. We all know we're in the era of video. The thing is about video, we can do them. Some people do them very well, but they're not necessarily easy. The other thing about video is they're slow to consume. One of the things that I've seen come through, and you'll have heard of it all, are things like YouTube Shorts. The ability to send really key messages really powerfully. Now, there's lots of approaches. I'm not saying YouTube Shorts is the best way for everybody in everybody's situation, but it's going to give you an idea. And I just want to play you an approach which actually might just. So all I'm going to do in 1 minute is I'm going to play you a short on how to build shorts, and then I'm going to talk about the implications of about the people who followed this approach and what it meant to their recognition. Oh, and by the way, the time I took on it, Manal, our CM, Chief Marketing Officer, sit down with me. It was with an email phone. I was sitting about here last night. I had no lights apart from what the lights were there. And the kit I used cost almost zero. Could our friends in the AV box switch on the video, please? Can you switch on the video? Bear with me, we just have a slight technical hitch. We'll give it 5 seconds. Otherwise, I'll go through and summarize. It's not going to happen. Doesn't matter. We're going to plow on very quickly. Here's the key points. People who are using shorts, you're effectively 45 seconds, between 15 seconds and 1 minute. You're making your points very quickly. You have captions. It moves very fast. The people who have got on top of the science of doing these are actually getting huge numbers of views. I've codified an influencer for the United States. She's 18 years old. 18 years old. And the codification I was going to show you garnered 38 million views. Now, here's the point. We're not in the business of getting 38 million views, but what we want is to create something that people want to watch. It's there. The one of the things on this, the sound doesn't seem to have worked either, but it's not a problem. So here's the thing. Last points. Productivity, anticipation, 15% improvement in productivity. Add anticipation, our productivity gets up around 25%. We have a toolbox that can help us do it, and we have ideas and means that we can go and take it and make this work. Ladies and gentlemen, recognition is absolutely critical to customer experience and making it work. Absolutely critical. Think about it, embrace it, make it your own. But above all, I don't know about it, I've appreciated everything that's happened at this conference. I hope you guys have too. All the best. My name's Charles Bennett. Thank you very much.